Hello everyone, I Mrs. Annapurna Adile welcome you all to this learning platform. In today's session, we will see Module 12, Lecture number 39, Industrial Safety Acts and Laws. These are the various contents in Industrial Safety Act and Law which I am going to discuss today. First, introduction, that what is the need of Industrial Safety Act and laws. Then we will see historical perspectives, then Industrial Safety Act and laws. What are the various safety act and laws we will discuss. Then international perspectives means various international safety act and law. Then fifth one, we will discuss compliances and the enforcement. In sixth point, we will discuss various case studies that enforces the implementation of Safety Act and law. Then in seventh, we will discuss benefits of Industrial Safety Act and law, and at last we will see its conclusion. So, dear learners, let us see what is a Safety Act and law. Industrial Safety Acts and laws are essential to safeguard the well-being of workers, protect the public and the environment, ensure accountability and foster economic and social well-being. They provide a legal framework for promoting and maintaining safe and responsible industrial practices. Therefore, Industrial Safety Act and laws are essential for any organizations. Many countries have to establish industrial laws and regulation and standards related to industrial safety to protect worker and the public and the environment in industrial settings. This law and regulation vary from one country to another, but generally cover aspects such as workplace safety, the handling of hazardous materials, fire safety, and more. In the United States, for the instance, the Occupational Safety and Health Act, or also known as OSH Act of 1970, is a federal law that governs the workplace safety and health. It established the Occupational Safety Health Administration, or OSHA, to enforce workplace safety regulation. In the European Union, there are directives and regulations related to industrial safety, including those that govern the use of machinery, chemical safety and workplace safety. Also in India, the Factory Act 1948 is a key piece of legislation that deals with the factory safety, working condition and health of workers. It's important to note that the specifics of industrial safety laws can vary widely from one jurisdiction to another, and they may change over time due to legislative updates. Now, dear learners, let us see historical perspective. The brief history of industrial safety regulations comprises first, pre-industrial revolution. Before the 18th century, there were minimal safety regulation in place. Workers often faced hazardous conditions, long hours and inadequate protections. Also, industrial revolution, late century 18th and early 19th century, the rapid industrialization led to a emergence of factories and mass production. This period saw the rise of worker exploitation and dangerous working conditions. Similarly, in Factory Act 1833, UK, considered one of the earliest safety law, it addressed issues such as child labor and factory inspections. Let us see triangle stairways factory fire 1911 USA, a tragic event that resulted in a death of approx 146 workers, leading to increased awareness of workplace safety issues. Now, let us see Occupational Safety and Health Act 1917 USA what say. The establishment of OSHA marked a significant milestone in the United States, bringing comprehensive safety regulation to the workplace. Let us see milestone in the development of safety laws. First one is formation of labor unions. Labor unions played a crucial role in advocating for better working conditions and safety standards. International Labour Organization, which established in 1919 as a part of League of Nations, is set international labor standards and promoted worker safety worldwide. EU health and safety legislation means European Union introduced directives and regulations to ensure workplace safety across member states. Similarly, ISO 45001, the International Organization for Standardization, introduced this standard in 2018, setting a global benchmark for occupational health and safety management system. So, this all rules and regulations shows the importance of safety acts and law. Now, we will see some key industrial safety acts and law. First, we will see Occupational Safety and Health Administration OSHA in United States. OSHA, which stands for Occupational Safety, Health and Administration, was established in 1970 under the Occupational Safety and Health Act. It falls under the jurisdiction of US Department of Labor and is responsible for overseeing workplace safety and health regulations throughout the United States. OSHA has the authority to set and enforce safety and health standards for more private sector workplaces with some expectations such as maritime, mining and certain federal agencies. OSHA covers a wide range of industries including manufacturing, constructions, healthcare, agriculture and more. Key provision of these regulations comprises with first, OSHA develops and maintains a comprehensive set of safety and health standards that employees must follow. These standards cover various workplace hazards including but not limited to hazardous chemicals. Let us see one by one. Hazardous chemicals, fall protection, respiratory protection, machine guarding, electrical safety and etc. Occupational Safety and Health Association conducts inspection and investigation to ensure compliance with its regulation. Employers found in violation of OSHA standards may face penalties, fines and citations. Employers are also required to maintain records of workplace injuries, illness and these records may be subject to review by OSHA. OSHA provides training, educational resources and guidance to employers and employees. This includes OSHA outreach training programs and resources on safety-based practices. OSHA also encourages the development of safety health programs within workplace. OSHA offers guidance and assistance to employers and employees to help them understand and implement safety measures. This includes providing information on best practices and compliances. Coming to promoting a safety of culture, so OSA works to promote a culture of safety within organization by encouraging employers to involve employees in a safety initiatives and by recognizing employers with extremely safety record through programs like OSA Voluntary Protection Program, that is also known as VPP. By understanding OSA's role in setting and enforcing safety standards as well as its efforts to educate and support workplaces in maintaining safe environment, individuals and organizations can take proactive steps to ensure workplace safety and compliance with the OSA regulation. Next, the Safety Act and Law, we are coming in Factory Act 1948 that comprises in India. The purpose of this act was the Factory Act 1948 is designed to regulate and ensure the safety, health and welfare of factory workers in India. It covers a wide range of aspects including working condition, employment of young workers and the maintenance of factories. The main objectives let us see in this Factory Act 1948. The primary objective of the Factory Act are to prevent accidents and hazards, improve the working environment, regulate working hours and safeguard the interests of workers, especially those engaged in hazardous processes. Factory Act has 11 chapters and approx 120 sections of various aspects. Let us see these various chapters one by one. Chapter 1 comprises with section 1 to 7. This all says about the preliminary of this act. Chapter 2 says about the inspecting staff. It has total 8 to 10 sections. Chapter 3, it comprises with the section number 11 to 20. This says about the health of the workers. Next, chapter 4, section 21 to 41, it says about the safety at the workplace. Next, chapter 5 comprises with the section number 42 to 50, it says about the welfare of worker. Chapter 6, it comprises with section 51 to 66. This says about the working hour, what should be the working hours for any employees. Chapter 7, which comprises with the section 67 to 77, employment of young person. Chapter number 8, section 78 to 84, it shows about the annual leave, what should be the annual leave for any employee. Chapter 9, which comprises with the section from 85 to 91, special provisions. Chapter 10, section 92 to 106, it says about the penalties. Then at last, chapter 11, it comprises with section 107 to 120. It shows the various supplementals. Next, dear learners, let us see what is in the health provision, which is very important for any working in the any industries. First, section 11, it shows the cleanliness, means there should be a cleanliness in any factory. Every factory shall be kept clean and free from gases from the drains. The dirt shall be removed by sweeping from the workshop, stairs and passages. Section 12 says about the disposal of waste and effluents, means effective arrangements shall be made for the treatment of waste and effluents due to the manufacturing process. Section 13 says ventilation and temperature means adequate ventilation by the circulation of fresh air should be introduced in any industries. Section 14 says about the dust and fumes means at a severe dust condition, exhaust appliances shall be installed as near as possible to the dust, fume and impurities. Section 15 says about a artificial humidification means humidity test shall be carried out to determine humidity and records maintained within the prescribed limits. Similarly, section 16 says overcrowding should be avoided in any industries to reduce the accident and injuries. Next, section 17 sufficient and suitable lighting, whether the natural or artificial or both, shall be maintained in all workplaces and passages and stairways. Section 18 says the arrangement of drinking water should be there. Section 19 says latrine and urinal facilities should also be introduced in proper manner in any industries. Section 20 says about the spittoons in the any industries. Next, dear learners, we will see the safety provisions. Safety provisions, section number 21. Fencing of the machinery should be introduced in any industry. Section 22 says work on near the moving machinery means working on a moving machine shall be carried out only by a trained adult male workers with tight fitting cotton clothes. No woman or young person shall be allowed to clean or lubricate or adjust any part of the moving machineries. Next, section 23 means employment of young person in dangerous machine. It says no young person shall be allowed to work at any machine unless he has been fully instructed about the hazards or he has been fully trained about that areas. Next one is section number 24 means striking gear and devices for cutting of the power means any running machinery while working or maintenance cutting of the power should be introduced. Next one is section 25 self acting machines or automatic. It says that never allow the persons to work near the self acting or automatic machinery. Also the fencing should be introduced at these places. Next one is section 26. It says casing of the new machinery means guarding should be provided for any new machinery. Then section 27. It says the prohibition of employment of young and children near a cotton openers. Then section 28 hoist and lifts. It says that hoist and lift should be of good constructions with adequate strength. They should be properly maintained and examined by the competent person at least once in a month and entries must be made on prescribed registers. Then next section number 29 it says lifting machines, chain, ropes and lifting tackles. Means the lifting machines, slings, chains, ropes and other lifting tackles must be made of sound material with adequate strength. They must be maintained properly and examined periodically by the competent person at least once in a month. Proper records of such items shall be kept ready for scrutiny by inspecting staff. Section 31 says about the revolving machinery. Effective measures should be taken to ensure that the safe working peripheral spread of every revolving pulley, flywheel, disc, etc. driven by power is not excited. Section number 31 says about the pressure plants. Means safe working pressure of plant should not be allowed to exceed by taking adequate measures. Section 32 says about the floors, stairs and means of access. Means all floors, steps, stairs, passages and gangways should be kept free from any obstruction and they should be kept in non-slippery conditions at all the time. Suitable handrails for the steps and stairs should be provided. Section 33 Pits, sumps, opening in the floor, etc. The pits, sumps, tanks and any kind of opening in the floor should be securely covered and fenced at all times. Section 34 says about the excessive weight. Excessive weight should not be weighted by any employee. Section 35 Protection of eyes. It says about the effective screen or suitable goggles shall be provided for the protection of persons employed in a immediate vicinity of the process. Then section 36 says about the precautions against the dangerous fumes. Means no person should be allowed to enter any chamber, pit or pipeline or any other confined spaces until all practicable measures have been taken to remove any gas, fume, vapor or dust which may be present in excess of permissible level. Only competent persons under proper supervision should be allowed to enter a confined space. Next, section 37 which says about the explosive or inflammable dust, gases, etc. It means during the manufacturing process, if there are dust, fumes, vapors or gases which are explosive in nature, that should be prevented by first effective enclosures. Means effective enclosure removal or prevention of the accumulation. Exclusion of the possible source of ignition. Section 38 says about the precautions against fire. Means the factory should have safe means of escape for all persons in the event of fire. Necessary equipment and facility for extinguish the fire should be available. All the workers should be familiar with the means of escape in case of fire and proper training also should be provided with this section. Section 39 says the power to require specification of defective parts or test stability. Means the inspector may ask in writing to the occupier or manager of the factory if anything found beyond specification. Next one is section 40 means safety of building and machinery. Section 40A says about the maintenance of the building should be there and section 40B says about the safety officer. Safety officer means in every factory where 1000 or more workers are employed, all other factories involving manufacturing process with the risk of bodily injury or disease, a safety officer should be appointed. Section 41 says about the power to make rules to supplement to the safety provisions chapters. Now let us see some provision relating to the hazardous process. In section 41A, it says about the constitution of appraisal committee. Section 41B says about the compulsory disclosure of information by the occupier. 41C says about the specific responsibility of the occupier in relation to the hazardous process. 41D says about the power of central government to appoint inquiry committee. Section 41E says about the various emergency standards. Section 41F says about the permissible limit of exposure of chemical and toxic substances. Section 41G says about the workers participating in safety management. Similarly, 41H says about the right of workers to warn about the imminent danger. Dear learners, similarly, there are various safety acts and law. Let us see some other act and law in United Kingdom. Health and Safety at Work Act in United Kingdom. It is enacted in 1974. The Health and Safety at Work Act places legal duties on employers to ensure the health, safety and welfare of employees and anyone affected by their work activities. The Act's objective include reducing workplace risk, providing adequate training and information, and fostering a cooperative approach to safety between employers and employees. It emphasizes the importance of risk assessment and safety management systems. Next act is Work Health and Safety Act, Australia. The Work Health and Safety Act, introduced in 2011 in Australia, harmonizes health and safety laws across states and territories. It aims to protect workers and others from harm arising from the work activity. This act seeks to promote the involvement of workers in safety matters, requires businesses to identify and control risk and establish a framework for achieving a highest possible safety standards. It also imposes duty of officer of organizations to exercise due diligence in ensuring safety. Next act is EU Framework Directive on Safety and Health at Work in European Union. The EU Framework Directive on Safety and Health at Work provides a general framework for improving worker safety and health across European Union member states. It sets out the fundamental principle for risk prevention and protection, promotes a systematic approach to safety management, and encourages worker involvement in safety matters. The directive serves as a foundation for more specific EU regulations and directives related to various industries. By understanding this purpose and objective of this key industrial safety act and law, it becomes evident how they contribute to creating safer workplace and protecting the rights and well-being of workers in their respective countries or regions. Next, dear learners, we will see some international perspectives. First, we will see ISO 45001. ISO 45001 is an international standard for occupational health and safety management system. It was published in 2018 and it is applicable to organizations of all sizes and industries. ISO 45001 sets a framework for stabilizing, implementing, maintaining and continually improving an organization's occupational health and safety management system. It is corporates principles like risk assessment, worker participation, leadership, commitment, and compliance with the legal requirements. ISO 45001 is designed to help organizations to reduce workplace accidents and illness, improve employee well-being, and demonstrate a commitment to safety to stakeholders. How global companies adhere to international standards. Global companies often choose to adopt international standards such as ISO 45001 as a benchmark for their safety management system. They implement the standards, principles, and requirements within their organizations, including risk assessment, safety policy, hazard controls, and employee training. To demonstrate compliance, many organizations seek certification from accredited bodies. Certification involves rigorous assessment to ensure that organization safety management systems align with the standards. What is the benefits of this adherence? So, adhering to international safety standards providing several advantages to global companies, including enhanced safety culture and reduced workplace incidents, improved reputation and credibility which can attract customers and partners, compliances with the legal and regulatory requirements in multiple countries, increased employee satisfaction and retention, potential cost saving from fewer accidents and incidents. Global companies view adherence to international safety standards as a continuous process. They regularly review and update their safety management systems to address changing circumstances, new risks, and evolving standards. Continuous improvement involves monitoring performance, conducting internal audits, seeking feedback from employees and stakeholders. Global companies often share best practices related to the safety with their subsidiaries and partners worldwide. This sharing knowledge helps maintain a consistent safety culture across the organization. Collaboration among the different units of the company fosters the exchange of safety innovations and lessons learned. Dear learners, let us see some other international law that is known as International Labour Organizations Law. The main objective of ILO is the field of safety, health and welfare can be broadly classified under first, convention and recommendations, standards and codes for practices, exchange of technical information and research, technical cooperation activities. The Labour Charter of ILO speaks of its 9 fundamental principles which are given here. First one is the guiding principle shall be that labor should not be regarded merely as a commodity or an article of the commerce. Second, it says that the right of associations for all lawful purposes by the employers as well as by the employees was recognized. Third one, it says in its principle that the payment of wages to all the employees must be adequate to maintain a reasonable standard of life. All industries, fourth principle say about all industries must aim at 8 hours of work in a day or 48 hours in a week as a standard of worker should be introduced. Fifth principle says by the ILO is a weekly rest of at least 24 hours which should include Sunday should be adopted. Number 6 principle says that the Labour Charter has advocated for abolition of the child labour and imposition of limitation on the employment of young person, and asked for the continuation of their education and to ensure their proper physical development. Number 7 of this principle says men and women must be given equal remuneration for any equal work. Number 8, due regards must be given to the equitable economic treatment of all workers, both national and foreigners. Ninth one says the Labour Charter has also laid emphasis that each state should make provision for a safety system of inspection in which women should also participate to ensure a enforcement of laws and regulation for the protection of all employees. Next, we will see case study. This case study shows the real life example of companies benefiting from compliances with the safety laws. The first case study is Alcoa. Means Alcoa is an aluminum manufacturing company transformed its safety culture under the leadership of Paul O'Neill. By prioritizing safety and emphasizing a zero injury goal, Alcoa saw a dramatic decrease in workplace accidents. This shift in focus also had positive efforts on a company's overall performances and profitability. Consequences of the neglecting safety regulations. The case study 2 we will see BP Deepwater Horizon oil spill. A Deepwater Horizon oil spill in 2010 was one of the most catastrophic industrial accidents in history. Neglecting safety regulations and insufficient risk management resulted in an explosion, massive oil spill, loss of lives, environmental damage, and significant financial losses of BP. The incident led to legal actions, fines, reputation damage, and the implementation of stricter safety regulation in the oil industry. Next case study is Rana Plaza collapse in Bangladesh. The Rana Plaza garment factory collapse in 2013 was a tragic event resulting from an unsafe working condition. Neglecting safety regulation and buildings code violation led to the collapse, causing the death of approx 1,100 workers and injuring thousands. The incident drew global attention to the importance of workplace safety in a global supply chain, leading to increased scrutiny and call for improved safety standards. This case study emphasized the compliances with the safety laws and regulation not only safeguard the well-being of employees but also contributes to improved operational efficiency, reputation and financial stability for any company. Neglecting safety regulation can lead to a devastating consequences including loss of life, environment damage, legal problems, financial losses and long-term damage to an organization's reputation. Next, we will see what is the benefits of Industrial Safety Act and law. Compliances with the safety law leads to a significant reduction in workplace accident and incidents. Fewer injuries and illness means reduces workers' compensation cost and lower insurance premiums for employees. Safer work environments often lead to a increased productivity as employees feel more secure and confident in their roles. Reduced absenteeism due to the workplace injuries or illness contributes to a higher overall productivity. Employers know for their commitment to safety build a positive reputation in the industry among the customers. A strong safety record can attract top talent and enhance business relationships. Adherence to the safety law provides legal protection for employers in the event of any accident or lawsuit. Compliances can serve as a defense against a negligence claim. Fewer workplace accidents result in a lower operational cost related to medical expenses, equipment, repair or replacement, and downtime. Now, dear learners, coming to conclusion, so Industrial Safety Act and law are essential for safeguarding the lives and well-being of workers. They provide a legal framework to prevent workplace accident, injuries and illness. Adhering to Safety Act and law ensures legal compliances and accountability for employers. Compliance reduces the risk of costly fines, penalties and legal action resulting from a safety violations. Safety laws promote a culture of safety within organization where safety becomes a core value. A strong safety culture leads to a increased employee morale, productivity and retention. Companies that prioritize safety build a positive reputation among employees, customers and partners. A strong safety record can set an organization apart in this competitive market. So, dear learners, this is all about the Industrial Safety Act and laws. Hope you learned about the various Safety Act and laws and will implement this law wherever this is needed. Thank you.